You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is your Locked On Sports Philadelphia Postcast with your host, Mark Farzetta. Lovely to have you along for the ride. In case you're, maybe this isn't the first time you've tried to join the program here, making some adjustments to the studio equipment. So I am on my phone. For those of you that have watched the show for a while, pretty much all season, this might remind you of the carport scenario with the earbuds, right? And the old outdated earbuds, right? I don't like the ones you have to charge. I have enough things in my life I have to charge, and I'm on the phone camera as opposed to the regular camera in studio, making some adjustments in the studio. But either way, welcome into the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Locked On Sports Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. I do appreciate you joining me here and making Locked On Sports Philadelphia your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube and part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This particular episode is brought to you by SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to get your parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, and electrical job and get it fast with fast shipping from coast to coast at SupplyHouse.com. That's SupplyHouse.com. The Phillies have a winning streak. They have won 3 in a row, just like that. After a bad series against the Braves, quite frankly embarrassing from an offensive perspective. Then watching Taiwan Walker open up that series against Kansas City Royals. Oh, my God, that was terrible. The Phillies have now won 3 in a row. Now, you might say the offensive struggles left a lot to be desired tonight, and they certainly did. But the defense, the pitching was on point. You got a great start from your man, Zack Wheeler, going out there and battling through 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs. If you watched the entire game and watched every pitch of Zack Wheeler, you know it could have been a lot worse than 2 runs and 1 big blemish with that 2-run double by Whitcomb in the ball game. It could have been a lot worse than that, but he very much limited the damage. And after the 4th inning, he was a much better pitcher. When you needed him to dial in and lock in, that's what he absolutely did in the 5th and the 6th innings to help the Phillies keep this a ball game. And then finally, the offense was able to step up, take him off the hook for a potential loss, and at least have him walk away with a no decision before the bullpen came in, did their job. The defense came in and was fantastic in tonight's ball game. And then finally, the hero of the hour, Bryce Harper. And I know it was fun. And sometimes I got to admit, and I love John Kruk. I love Larry Anderson, right? I love all the color analysts that we have here in the great city of Philadelphia. But every once in a while, especially in baseball, I don't like it when a guy will go like they call it. I know Scott Fransky on the radio refers to it as a caller. We have a caller, meaning like Larry Anderson has said, oh, and Harper, here we go. Harper's going to hit the home run right here, and we're going to be good to go. And then he hits the home run, and it sounds good on the playback and all that stuff. But I generally don't like it. But Kruk might have had the earliest caller of the night. In the 7th inning, he said that Bryce Harper was going to win the game for the Phillies. And lo and behold, the game goes into 10 innings. And Bryce Harper, ladies and gentlemen, walks it off with an RBI single to right field, which brings me to our 3 big things that we do each and every show. I'm going to do it again. 3-1. 3-1. I'm going to start it off with number 3, Zack Wheeler. That's right. The starting pitcher who went 6 innings, allowing 2 runs tonight. He, in fact, gets number 3 on this list. Now, why does he get number 3, not number 2, not number 1? Well, number 1, because he didn't walk it off. And number 2, it was a solid start. I might have called it a great, solid start, a quality start for him tonight. But again, laboring. In the 5th inning, he went into the 5th inning at 79 pitches tonight. Laboring at the start of the 5th inning. Laboring through his first 4 innings of work. Again, the only big blemish was the 2-run double to left field on a first pitch sweeper that he hung in the zone a little bit, and Whitcomb was able to whip it into left field. Left field for the 2-run double. It was a 2-0 game. But before that, he found himself out of jams. He got some double play balls to help him out as well. He got some good defense in the ball game also. But mainly Zack Wheeler going out there and at least giving you a quality start against a very good Houston Astros team, a first place Houston Astros team and keeping the good vibes going for the Phils. Certainly, as a starting pitcher, you're asked to put your team in a good position to win a game. He absolutely put his team in a good position to win a game. He's number 3. Number 2, I'm going to give it to the guys that Wheeler gave the ball to after. And you know who that is? That is this Phillies bullpen, of course, and what you were able to see from them, what they gave you tonight. Orion Kerkering going out there. Jeff Hoffman with 1 hit. Kerkering 1 hit. Estevez, no hits, 11 pitches to get through his 9th inning. And then Matt Strahm sits him down, striking out 1, using just 8 pitches to get through his 10th inning, his top of the 10th inning. That right there was fantastic. You needed to see a good outing from Estevez, who has had some struggles. Jeff Hoffman has been giving up some long balls, didn't do that today. Kerkering was great in that 7th inning, mowed through his guys, and then you saw Strahm come in and dominate as well. You'll want to see that. You need to see that from your bullpen. You saw that from your bullpen tonight, so I love that. And I'm going to combine this. We're going to have 2A and 2B, because I can't look at that game tonight and then honestly look into my phone's camera and tell you wonderful people, you wonderful Phillies fans, or maybe some spiteful Houston Astros fans, I can't look at that game tonight and not laud the defense for how great they have been. Standing ovation. Bryce Harper, especially in the 10th inning. We're going to get to Johan Rojas and why he wasn't starting in this game anyway, but we'll get to that later. But Johan Rojas was fantastic on his catch. That, without question, saved a go-ahead run for the Astros, and then makes Bryce Harper's RBI single a game-tying single, and not nearly as exciting as a walk-off single. But Johan Rojas dives in front of him to stop that, to catch that baseball before it hit the ground. Was a beautiful catch, and that's the norm for Johan Rojas in center field. I applaud what he was able to do with that. Right before that, Bryce Harper also made a great play at first base, being able to smother a baseball to rob, I think it was Alvarez, of a base hit, and what would have also been a go-ahead RBI single for the Houston Astros. So they had 2 great cracks at it right there in the top of the 10th inning. Great play by Harper down the first base line, smothering that ball and then winning the race to the bag. And then Diaz stepping up to the plate and hitting that line drive off Matt Strahm to center field. And Johan Rojas went up there and made sure that he flagged that down. He ran it down, dove, made the catch. Incredible. Stays tied at 2 for the bottom of the 10th inning. Which brings me to number 1. Bryce Harper hasn't had a great go of it as of late. He started to find his way out of a bad slump. He, of course, struggled big time in that Braves series. Started to break out of it a little bit more in Game 1 against the Royals. And then little by little, you've been seeing a little bit better of a Bryce Harper. He had 2 hits tonight, and his second was the walk-off single. He scored a run tonight. He worked 2 walks. He gets his on-base percentage back up to 367. You saw a guy that looked a lot more consistent at the plate today and a lot more comfortable at the plate today in Bryce Harper. And to see him step up there and get the pitch that he was looking for in the bottom of that 10th inning to make sure the Phillies would get this win, this is huge. Went up there thinking a first pitch fastball. That's exactly what he got. He got the 2-seamer that stayed inside on him, and he whipped it in the right field for the walk-off victory. This is what you hope that keeps gets the ball rolling for Bryce Harper. Because as we have talked about many times before, if the Phillies are going to get back to being one of the best teams in baseball and get back to winning at a clip that was anything close to what you saw in the first half of the season, they need Bryce Harper to get back to an MVP status. I'm not saying in the final month of the season he's going to beat out Shohei Ohtani, but you need him to get back to that MVP caliber play where at least he's getting his name mentioned again like he was 2 months ago. That's what you need to see from Bryce Harper. It started in Game 1 against the Royals, and now you're seeing it carry into this series against the Houston Astros. And make no mistake about it, this is just the tip of the iceberg here for this homestand. You're going to have these 3 games against a first-place team in the Astros, and then you're going to have 4 games against the Atlanta Braves. Now, we've talked about this question a lot. Are the Phillies back? Are the Phillies back? Are the Phillies back? Well, if the Phillies can beat good baseball teams, then they're definitely back. But I know that right now they're back to being able to beat bad baseball teams. It's good that they were able to beat the Dodgers when they faced the Dodgers this year. It's good that they're coming off a win against the Royals, winning 2 or 3 against a 70-plus win baseball team out there in KC. To start out against another first-place team and be able to grab the first game of this series is a wonderful step to keep that going. And Bryce Harper being a big part of it, could be the tip of the iceberg for him as well to get back to an MVP caliber of play for him. It wasn't all gravy tonight, unfortunately. There was one thing in particular that I really hated. And if you're looking at the graphic, you might even know what that is. When we come back, we'll take a look at what the heck Rob Thompson is thinking, and Dave Dombrowski as well, because there's two things. Now, the Phillies winning tonight is wonderful, because after hearing Rob Thompson before the game, after seeing the lineup before the game, which I admit, I know it's not all Rob Thompson making the lineup. Dave Dombrowski has his fingerprints on that as well. But if I would have listened to Dave Dombrowski before the game, which I did, if I would have seen the lineup card before the game, which I did, and then watched the Phillies lose this game tonight, forget about just needing a technical update in the studio. I need a whole new studio, because I would have burned it to the ground. And the Phillies would have drove me to it by stupid decisions that I had to hear about before this game. We'll get into that when we come back. Locked On Sports Philadelphia and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. My name is Mark Farzetta. Back in a few. SupplyHouse.com. You guys have heard me talking a lot about SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is where it's at. When you're talking about getting the goods, SupplyHouse.com is where you got to go. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades at SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands. Get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, get the expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every trade master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade professionals already benefiting from their free membership program at SupplyHouse.com/TM. That's SupplyHouse.com/TM. And order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. That's SupplyHouse.com. Also, as I said, thank you very much for making Locked On Sports Philadelphia your first listen every day. As for your second listen, make sure you're checking out our good friend Sully for your second listen at Locked On MLB Podcast. Host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully, is here with your daily expertise for the national perspective of baseball with his trademark humor, and get you ready for the MLB postseason. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Phillies win 3-2. Get a solid start from the Zack Wheeler fella. Bullpen was great. Defense was great. Braves won. Mets didn't play, so you pick up a half game on them at least. I want to be happy, and I am. I'm very happy. But there's a couple things I need to talk to you guys about. Right? We're friends here. We can talk. How is it possible that you can watch Taiwan Walker and go, he seems like he needs another start? How is it possible to spend a lifetime in baseball, Rob Thompson, Dave Dombrowski, and go, you know what I think we need as a ball club? Taiwan Walker to throw more pitches for it, to start another baseball game for it. Rob Thompson said before tonight's game that Taiwan Walker will get the start on Wednesday. How? Why? Why is that happening? I laid out the perfect scenario. I've been laying out the perfect scenario. You shut him down for the year. Like, I know a lot of people just want him DFA'd. He's making a lot of money. They're not going to DFA him. But if you shut him down for the year, I think that's a happy for both parties. Taiwan Walker, you just say, dude, we didn't even use you in the postseason, and you suck, and you're not. We can just use the excuse you're not healthy. You got 2 separate IL stints on the year. You obviously weren't even ready for the start of the year. So guess what? Shutting it down. We hope to hit the reset button in the offseason with you, and you come back and you're a little bit, maybe just a little tiny bit more of the guy that is worth $18 million a year. That's what you do if you're Dave Dombrowski, if you're Rob Thompson, if you're Sam Fold, whoever is making that decision, most likely Dave Dombrowski. That's the perfect decision to make. Don't get me wrong. If it was me, see a Taiwan Walker. You want to talk about stupid money? $18 million for Taiwan Walker is dumbassery money, all right? So when Rob Thompson, before the game tonight, decided to tell you that Taiwan Walker was going to make the start on Wednesday, my head exploded. Right before the game started, I piecemealed it back together with duct tape mostly. It's an insult to the fan base to have Taiwan Walker go out there again. So here's what we need to do. When Taiwan Walker gets his start on Wednesday, and Taiwan Walker is getting shelled by the fourth inning, and that's being kind, and he's pulled out of the game, I don't want you to boo Taiwan Walker, Philadelphia. I don't want you to boo Rob Thompson. I don't want you to boo anybody on the field, because it's not like Taiwan Walker is going to be like, yeah, I suck, but give me the ball. No, he's going to start. He's going to throw. When Taiwan Walker is getting shelled on Wednesday night, don't boo Taiwan. Don't boo Rob Thompson. Don't boo anybody on the field. Turn your back to the field at Citizens Bank Park and look up at the owner's box. Look up at the front office and boo that. Because I don't even believe it's Rob Thompson's decision to make Taiwan Walker. He's put in a bad spot. If Taiwan Walker is available to pitch, his hands are tied. Was he going to piss off Dave Dombrowski that gave the deal to Taiwan Walker? Is he going to tell Taiwan Walker, I know they really want you to, but no, we can't do it. No. Rob Thompson kind of likes keeping his job. The people that are responsible for Taiwan Walker are the people in the front office, not Rob Thompson. There's a lot of things I can look at with Rob Thompson, and I'm about to, that really piss me off. But when it comes to Taiwan Walker, that's a Dave Dombrowski problem. And Dave Dombrowski, as I told you before, already told this team at the trade deadline, hey, guys, this is it. We're going to get some bullpen help. We're going to get a guy that we think could hit righties. Who can't, by the way. And that's going to be it. This is on you. We're not bringing anybody else here to save you. So Dave Dombrowski made that mistake already. And now Dave Dombrowski wants to continue to trot out Taiwan Walker. I don't think so. Taiwan Walker is not the guy to boo on Wednesday night when he gets shellacked by the Astros. Turn around, back to the field, boo the front office. That's the move. Speaking of the front office, are we done with the Austin Hayes in left field thing? Are we done? Here's the thing. You want to throw him up there against lefties? Have at it. Weston Wilson, paternity leave? Enjoy. God bless. That's a beautiful thing. Congratulations, Weston Wilson. But this whole thing about Austin Hayes can hit right-handed pitching is stupid. It's dumb. And I don't like it. I tend to not like things that are stupid and dumb. And the Phillies telling you time and time again that Austin Hayes can hit right-handed pitching is redonkulously stupid. I am out on it. I've been out on it for a long time. The thing I've told you time and time again, that if Austin Hayes could hit right-handed pitching, he would have cost you a lot more than Sir Anthony Dominguez and a guy that got DFA'd 6 days later in Christian Pache. But yet you want to tell me this is a guy that can hit both lefties and righties? Okay, that's adorable. That's adorable. So anyway, Johan Rojas has actually done okay against right-handed pitching. He should have got the start. Keep Brandon Marsh in left field. He's a much better left fielder than he is center fielder. And you don't have to deal with Austin Hayes trying to hit right-handed pitching. So it's a win for everybody, really. But for whatever reason, the Phillies thought it would be a good idea. And I say the Phillies because, again, I think Dave Dombrowski has his fingerprints on this lineup card. Austin Hayes being trotted out there in left against Blanco, not cool. Not cool. I really would like to be done with the experiment. You know what I'm saying? Really like to be done with that experiment. And one more thing, talking about Zack Wheeler. Maybe I'm crazy, and I feel like I'm pretty honest with you guys and very unbiased when it comes to balls and strikes. I will tell you if the Phillies are getting the calls and the Astros aren't, or the Astros are getting the calls and the Phillies are not getting the call, whatever. I'll tell you, I'll give you a pretty biased opinion of the umpiring as far as balls and strikes goes. But I couldn't help but notice tonight, good God, Derek Thomas's strike zone was trash. I'm watching Kyle Schwarber get called out on strikes high and away at least 2 different occasions tonight. And then they flip it around to Blanco being on the hill for the Astros. And he is getting those calls just outside the strike zone that Zack Wheeler was not. So I watched Blanco have a wider strike zone, really a bigger strike zone in general. And then I watched Wheeler go out there, and those same pitches are balls. Now, normally I'll be like, all right, well, that's the strike zone for the game, so that's that. But it looked pretty blatant tonight, blatantly obvious that for whatever reason, I'm not saying Derek Thomas had any ill intent. I'm just saying he did a lousy job of calling balls and strikes equally today. And the two guys that I noticed it most with was Brandon Marsh and Kyle Schwarber. There was one particular instance. Kyle Schwarber had a 2-0 count on Blanco. It wasn't the one that he struck out. No, it was the one that he struck out. He couldn't check his swing. It was a curveball. Third inning, Kyle Schwarber goes up there after Austin Hayes struck out on a curveball in 3 pitches. Isn't that funny? I was just talking about how much he sucks. And there he is. He sucks. Anyway, so Kyle Schwarber goes up there with 1 out. 2-0 count. There's a high and away strike that gets called a ball. And it wasn't even close. And Thomas calls it a strike. Now it's a 2-1 count instead of a 3-0 count. Schwarber then gets a couple of curveballs, can't hold his swing, and that was that. Turner then goes up there and gets a single. Harper works a walk, Bohm flies out to right field on 1 pitch, and that was all she wrote for the 3rd inning for the Phils. There's another instance with Brandon Marsh, who has been getting a lot of those calls that are up in the zone, but generally speaking, the reason I'm not as mad about that one is because Brandon Marsh on 3-1 pitches, usually 3-2 pitches. I know there was the 3-1 pitch that he cranked against the wall in the National Series. That was great, but he freezes up a lot in those instances when he gets big, spicy meatballs, and he just takes them down the middle for strike 3. 3-1, 3-2, 2-2. He ain't swinging at that pitch. He freezes for whatever reason. But the Schwarber situations rub me the wrong way, to say the absolute least. All right, when we come back, we're going to take your comments. We're going to get your thoughts on today's game. The Phillies getting the win. The Braves. What was the final of that one? Wait, they're only in the top of the because they had the rain delay. They're against the Twins. They're playing the Twins. It's the end of the 4th, top of the 5th inning. Braves are winning 9-1 at this point. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what you guys had to say about this game and what you guys are thinking about this game, what you guys are feeling about this game, and what you need to see from the Phillies tomorrow. We'll also talk about what the Phillies have on tap tomorrow with Aaron Nola being on the hill for the Fightins and seeing if Aaron Nola can keep his good vibes going, because it certainly feels like it has been a minute with Aaron Nola being able to go on one hell of a run for this Phillies ball club. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Back in a few. Again, like and subscribe, Locked On Sports Philadelphia. FanDuel. Hopefully you guys are using and having a good time on FanDuel. FanDuel is an amazing time. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Well, we got something a little different for you now through September 22nd. Let me say that again, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. How about that? Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you could cancel anytime on FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook. Till September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV with FanDuel. FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Let's get into the chat check and see how your wonderful people are doing and what you're feeling about this Phillies victory tonight. I know the early comers here on the postcast like to tweet during the game. Farzi, we may in fact be cooked, my good sir. Cooked. 809 was 809 the Whitcomb double. 809 seems about right. Hour into the game, a little bit more than an hour and 20 into the game. John Marinelli, I'd like to see a little more out of Hayes, fella. This Hayes fella, he hasn't done much so far. No, I don't know if you, John. I know this is before my rant, but he's not good at baseball. He's really good at baseball against lefties. He sucks at baseball against righties. He's not that good in the field either. Kind of slow. He's kind of slow to that ball. That Whitcomb double. A little slow to that one. You know what I'm saying? IBH Extras, John Marinelli, big game, baby, ring it, hells yeah. Morgan at Bryce Harper, there you go. There's the excitement I want to see. Michael Evans, okay, the win was great, but come on. Way too many left on base. Yeah, the left on base, what did that end up at? Where do they end up with the left on base with the guys with the things in the left on bases that they did tonight? Where is my box score? That's my hold music for the postcast. All right. Left on base. Phillies, a beep bop, 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position, leaving 10 dudes on base. It's way too many dudes. It's a lot of dudes. Henry, what's going on? Hell yeah, yes. Michael Evans, Rojas catch, Harper's play at first. The defense was amazing. Bam, man, 100. The bats were pathetic in most of this game, but came through in the end. Dusty almost cost us the game by holding Nick. Thank you. That's a great point. The Nick Castellanos holdup in the 6th inning. So the Phillies 2 runs of the game that allowed them to get in extra innings. Brandon Marsh's home run, 13th of the season. Nick Castellanos came up with an RBI single that plated about Bryce Harper in the 6th inning, 2-2 game. Castellanos is on first base. Real Muto doubles down the left field line. I don't understand what was going on. Alvarez is in left field for the Astros. Now, I've joked, pointed out is probably the better way to say it. I've pointed out many a times that Nick Castellanos might be slower than Pat Burrell, which is saying something. Maybe he could keep up with Greg Luzinski, and definitely slower than Raul Ibanez, who, if you don't know, he was 75 when he played for the Phillies. So Nick Castellanos is really slow. So him scoring first to home on a ball hit the left field seems unlikely. However, in that particular instance, in the 6th inning, you had what did you have there? You only had 1 out. So maybe on 2 outs and he's running on contact. Did you have 2 outs? Harper, Castellanos, Romeo. I think I missed something in my notes here. I think you had 2. I think you had 1 out. Because I think if there's 2 outs, he's going on contact and he's scoring. Harper double. Yeah, Bohm grounded out. So you have 1 out, Castellanos single, Stott struck out. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, 2 outs. Yeah, he definitely should have scored on that. I remember watching it going, why? Like, he would have scored on it. With Alvarez's throw and his momentum taking him into the wall, he's absolutely scoring on that. And I am the first to point out how ridiculously slow Nick Castellanos is. But Dusty Wathan held him. Would have been the go-ahead run, or it would have been the final out of the inning. It seemed like he was waiting at third base a while for that throw to come in. And also, with the throw when it did come in, would have been offline. So Castellanos would have been safe. I thought that was questionable by Wathan as well. Thank you very much, Bam Man 100. Michael Evans, he would have been a dead duck. Yeah, the only thing is, I can't fault Dusty for not sending him because Dusty doesn't know the throw is going to be off. The throw was off. So that's kind of, what do you call it? Second guessing, hindsight 2020. That's what I'm looking for. IBH, now we're smoking, sitting up like the Undertaker, says 824. Seriously, Larry, 10 men left on base. Schwarber looking like Turtle, flailing his arms around running to home. But hey, it worked. That's how he runs, man. Rojas is batting 246, and Marsh makes such a great defensive tandem. Hayes is not a good fielder and doing Zippo with his bat. Matt, I agree. Evelyn, woot, 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 woot to you. Penn got it done tonight, says Michael. Absolutely. Jason Hess, glad to see Harper get that hit. because we need them and everyone else to produce. The time is now to hone up and get ready for the playoffs. There you go. Natalie Stark, what's going on? My boyfriend is an Astros fan, and we have a bet on this series. Good to see the Phillies take the first game finally. What's the bet? I feel like we need to know the bet, Natalie. Thank you for joining us. And I think you could have done better than an Astros fan. By the way, speaking of love, and I don't know, Natalie, if you guys even used that yet. I don't want to get too personal with you. But how about John Kruk tonight, just calling out in-stadium proposals? Fellas, if she says no, there's a ton of other single women there that would say yes. The more you know. Always a good thing taking game one. Yeah. Julian. What's up, Julian? People don't start and say they're back. Offense left, or should I say Bowman Marsh left 8 men on base. That was not good. Crazy what's going on. Wheels not having his best stuff, but he fought through it. KGB officer. I mean, Hayes was honestly kind of a fleeced trade. Defensively, he was fantastic with the Orioles. And last year, offensively, he was fantastic. He just hasn't shown any of that in Philly. Philly ain't for everybody. No, I was kidding. I just put him in a position to have success. Like not against right-handed pitchers. Wait, hold on a second. Wait. Is Farzi can't bench the bar in here? I didn't see him. Farzi can't bench the bar. More like Farzi can't start the stream. Ayuk never gets old. I'm here, baby. I'm here on my phone. Farzi had a double espresso. I have had my normal 4 espressi day. See, espressi is more than 1 espresso. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, I don't usually say that. I'm not that person that has to say everything with the real thick Italian. Only when I'm being, what's the word? Obnoxious. Obnoxious is when I do that. Beep. Orion, Mercado, yeah. Oh yeah, let's fast forward, Brandon Kelly. What happens when Harper faces Hader in the NLCS? Oh, now we know what would have happened if Harper faced Hader. Oh, okay. See, okay. Oh, it was the 8th inning. Miss Scusi. The pen was lights out. Luis, absolutely. Here we go. Peter, cheaters, Trastros. I haven't seen Trastros yet, but I do like that. That's good. Boop. Think I got everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. All right, now let's take a look at what the Phillies got going on tomorrow night with the Phillies and Astros getting back at it. Phillies 77-54 now on the season. They'll get underway at 6:40 tomorrow night against those Stros. The Astros are 70-61 on the year. Some guy named Justin Verlander will be on the hill. What's he even do? 3-3 on the season. Recently rejoining the Astros. This will be just his second start his third start. No, his second start since coming back. He went 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 4 hits against the Boston Red Sox in a 4-1 losing effort. Hopefully the Phillies will have what it takes to get one over on old Justin Verlander, 41 years old. 3-3 overall in the season with a 3.92 ERA. Aaron Nola gets the start. He's 11-6 on the season with a 3.45 ERA, coming off 5 1/3, 2 runs on 8 hits against the Atlanta Braves in the Phillies' lone win of that season. That's what Aaron Nola is going to have going on for himself tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll be right back here with you wonderful people on Locked On Sports Philadelphia following the Phillies and Astros tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. That's Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Be back with you guys tomorrow night. Until then, have a great rest of your evening. See you tomorrow. Bye.